Hello, football fans. Welcome in to another Coleman Bearcat review. I am Wade Smith, sitting alongside head coach Oscar Glasscock. Coach, how are you this week?
I'm doing good. We're in the second week of school now, and it seems like we're getting into, the regular routine, regular grind of the season. So
It was a good week last week. We thought we were going to play on Friday. We ended up on Saturday, and it felt kind of like a college football atmosphere. That's that Saturday morning game taking on Jasper. Really good team coming in, and I feel like overall the game went fairly well.
Well, we won the game, so yeah, I would agree with you. That's bottom line. But it was a tough week. We started school, in earnest on Monday of the previous week, and it got on the kids. We struggled a little bit in practice. I mean, these kids have been, with football and some workout stuff a couple hours a day, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but they hadn't been in school, and they were extra tired. I mean, it was a difficult week to recover from, and you had a lot of mental pressure, and their time was restricted a lot more because of school starting and homework and those type of things. And so I was really, really super proud of the kids handling the adversity of just school starting that week after, we haven't been in school since March. It's not, just your typical summer deal. And, for several years, usually you're starting school about the time you start practice, preseason practice. So it was a different deal. And then, of course, the weather rolled in. We had early dismissal. Some people say, well, it's clear by 7 o'clock. Well, that's true, but if the school is let out for early dismissal for whatever reason, the administrators have a policy that you can't do any after-school activities, extracurricular activities, and so we really had no choice but to play on Saturday. And Jasper was really very understanding of that fact, and we set it at 11 o'clock, and I told the kids, years from now, they're not really going to remember the score of the game or anything. They're going to remember that they sort of played during the day, like when college football takes place. Different environment. You're usually always playing at night. Almost 100% of the teams do all year, and except maybe if you make the finals. And so that was the thing. They're going to remember how hot it was, and getting out on that turf and being the only show in town. And it was very much like a college type setting as far as the game went. And I thought our kids handled it super. We came out, had a great first drive, and really set the tone. And I'm going to tell you, Jasper had a really good football team. They were very physical. They're very well conditioned. They're always well coached, and we were just luckily we played well because we needed to against a really good team.
Yeah, as a football fan, I just super enjoyed sitting up in the press box watching that game because it was hard fought, and it was just a physical football game. I think we're going to see that on the tape if we want to get the first quarter highlights up here and see what Coleman and Jasper brought to Oliver Woodard Stadium last Saturday.
Well, you're talking about a team that won 11 games the year before. They won 11-1. They won, that many or more the year before. I mean, they have won a ton of football games. But again, we put Jalen out here to run the rocket. We had to sustain our blocks a little bit right there. We trying to move him around some. He's been playing a lot of defense. I was really proud of Jake Doolin. He had a fantastic game. As you see, he's getting a feel for running that buck sweep, which is, our signature play, and just about all his yards came on that. We had a little bit of a counter lead type deal. Running the triple option here, you see Max keeping now. We're starting to get into the next phase of this as part of our offense, and it really can be very problematic to the defense. Running the waggle, Jeb Bartle's got great hands. He's a great athlete. Couldn't quite outrun the defender, but, wow, what a great play because, we had difficulty last year with the play action passes like this, and Coach Gleaton's come on board this year and really helped us a lot with our spacing. Good evidence of the weight room work right there. Little Noah Key is super strong in the weight room, pound for pound, and you saw it right there. He's able to run over a defender, and that's the second week in a row we've had a running back run over a defender to finish off a touchdown. And again, that's the hard work they're doing in the weight room and the type of lifting we're doing. And these kids like the weight room. That's the thing about it. They really enjoy it. But anyway, getting off to a good start. Defensively, Jasper has an outstanding young quarterback. kid's really, really good. He's a really fast runner. You know, I felt like we came out ready to play, and that was a huge deal. You know, last year we got off to some slow starts. You know, playing in the morning like this, you know, I challenged our kids to, boy, big hit by Jaden Kay. I mean, what a great job right there. You know, that wears on those receivers. But I challenged our kids to make good decisions and get in the bed early and get that extra rest and take advantage of it. And I could tell when they came in, man, they were ready to go. Great return by Brody Malcolm. He's adding so much to our returning game. We had a penalty on it. You know, wasn't you know, pretty close call on it, and then Brody's going to bust one of those things before it's over with. Again, running the buck sweep, just super proud of the patience that we've shown developing this play and running some things with this downhill running. Kind of messed a block right here, and you know, that's okay. We're still getting positive yards, and we're protecting the football. Little play we put in this week's kind of an option look, quarterback follow, and we really got some crucial yards on that. You know, we got another first down, keep the chains moving, keep that fine quarterback Jasper off the field. Again, triple option, for any doubt, we're going to give it. Making the defense play assignment football. Again, run the rocket. Marquette makes a great cut, makes another guy miss. Great hustle. Their defensive lineman. You know, Jasper really had outstanding defensive line. And they had some linebackers very athletic. Again, running the waggle right here. You know, Max does a good job pulling it down and getting what he can. You know, that makes those linebackers have to decide, are they going to cover or are they going to press the quarterback? Great job on the freeze right here. You know, something we're adding little wrinkles every week. You can run the power, so you know a key out front blocking. You know, Jake's making the right cut, practicing great ball security. You know, a little option coming back. We had the pitch probably right there, but you know, if there's any doubt, we're going to keep it. It's something we're going to keep coming back to. You know, what I'm proud of with our offensive coach Sane, and like I said, Coach Gleaton here, and Coach Campbell, and Coach Hannah, is that you know, anytime we run a play, we have a complementary play. You know, that is designed off of it. So the defensive shift, or they're overplaying a certain play, we've got something to take advantage of that. Great job that you see some of the athleticism in our quarterback. Very, very good ball fake. Gets the ball out last minute. You know, the guys took over as a starter late in their year last year. And he's going to cause a lot of defensive problems for the next few years. Now we're jumping offside. You know, got some guys in there hadn't played football much before. You know, we see Caleb Heatherly right there, number 90. He really seems to be enjoying himself. You know, he's a fine baseball player, and he came to us and wanted to come back out for football. And he's grown so much now. We've got him as a lineman, and he's having a lot of depth as he sort of learns the game.
That's the end of the first quarter, and you could just kind of tell the momentum of that ball game. You were able to run the offense that you want to run, and they weren't really giving you any looks that weren't setting up those plays. You could be able to run the keeper or run the sweep or run the up the middle. It just seemed like everything you were doing, there was no just wall in place that was just knocking you back on that offensive side of the ball on Saturday.
Right, and it was a big, you know, we looked at film from the year before, and just to show our guys how much we've progressed in a year's time as far as running the offense. You know, it's a wing tee offense that incorporates triple option, and you know, honestly, it's very similar to the offense that Coach Woodard ran sort of during the glory years here. And you know, the deal is now what's old is new again. You know, with everybody, you know, spreading everybody out, going 4 and 5 wide, and RPO game, and everybody's throwing all the time. Now, you know, we're running an offense that's play action, pass oriented, and running triple option, and pulling guards, blocking down, kind of old school football. And people really have a hard time preparing for it. You know, I hear it from coaches over and over and over how much they hate playing us now because nobody else is running this stuff. And their practices, I'm telling you, you can't get a fast pace. They have to. It's extremely hard to simulate what we do in a practice. That's one of the philosophies behind it. Being a defensive coach for a long years, I love it when the offense is value the football and they control the clock and the field position. And it makes it that much easier on the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. Let's take our first break of the Bearcat Review today. We're going to be right back after this. Welcome back to the Bearcat Review. I am Wade Smith alongside head coach Oscar Glasscock. And we were talking about the Coleman-Jasper game last Saturday, Oliver Woodard Stadium. Coleman does get the victory 21-0. And we've seen the first quarter already. And one thing that stood out to me, Coach, throughout this ball game, I know we said a lot of names in that first quarter that carried the football, whether it was Max Doolin, whether it was Noah Key. But what I really love to see, the guys that weren't carrying the ball on that play, they didn't have a problem getting out there in front and blocking and doing the hard work every play when they don't have the football.
Well, and our offense is critical. And, not only that, but you have to carry out fakes. We're trying to get defender eyes on certain people, and we're going to take advantage of it when they don't. So faking and footwork and the tenacity and technique of your blocks and all that stuff, it all works together. And that's another thing I love about this offense is you really have to coach it. We have to coach it hard. We've got to be very technical in how we teach things, and that's kind of a lost art. Especially just quarterback footwork under center. When you're in the shotgun, the footwork's not near as critical and those type of things. But the reward is very difficult. You can run a buck sweep and you can run a trap, things like that, out of the shotgun. But man, it slows the reads down so much for linebackers and opposing defenders and safeties and things like that. And when you're under center, you got all that movement in front of you, it is really difficult to tell who has the ball and what the play is. And so, again, you're not used to it, and I think it gives us a big advantage.
Yeah, I can only imagine being a defender out on the field trying to see who has that football behind a big offensive line like you've got out there. I know for us in the press box, we're living in binoculars to be able to see the football. So I can only
especially when you get guys like Noah Key behind Evan Richards or something like that, and you're right. I mean, and you kind of joke about stuff like that, but like I said, coaching defense a long time. I've heard that a lot of times from linebackers and things. Coach, I can't see him. I don't know where he's at and things like that. And there's an art to it.
Absolutely. That's a skill set that just takes time to develop. And some of the best have it naturally, but if you work on it in the film room, that's where it comes in the best. Let's get into our second quarter highlights here. Coleman-Jasper game last Saturday. Coleman did win 21-0. Saw the first quarter last break and set up the second quarter here, Coach.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're on defense and doing a good job of showing multiple looks up front. That guy was really hard. Would take a poor angle, lost contain a little bit. You can just see the kind of speed that quarterback has. They got a little penalty on there, but man, and we're going to be playing another speed guy at quarterback this week, and we got to make sure we aim out in front. Whoever's got the edge. Again, you got to aim for upfield shoulder right there, and you learn from things like that. And we made a great play. Could have had a sack, and a lot of times that's a turnover, and he took a chance. And super job running the ball. And I can't emphasize to you either how hot and humid it was. The hurricanes and things like that brought a lot of humidity to the air. Again, you see Brody Malcolm getting out on punt return. Gives us a skill set, but we're blocking really well. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of penalties on the returns, but we get those things cleaned up, and it's going to be a real weapon around here. Running the silo, got to stay inside. Jamar's not usually running that play. Got to get out front on the block a little bit too, but you know, there's certain angles and attack points and things like that that we have to have faith in. And, you know, the big thing is just getting reps in practice and understanding those things and seeing it on film. Got to hold a block a little bit longer right there. I mean, we had good protection, had one breakdown, and that's all it takes when you got, like I said, an outstanding defensive line like Jasper has. Very, very athletic. You know, we're in a twin set. You know, we got to make sure we're taking advantage of, you know, when we have two people in coverage, we got to throw it. When it's 2-on-2, that's the advantages to the offense. Held the ball a little bit long on the punt. But Drew Ball stepped in and has really done a good job. And you see how many people we got in pursuit, even the punters down there in the neighborhood. And that's key, you know, to that, because I felt like our field position was pretty good all day long. We didn't give them a short field. And it's really, really hard to just snap it again, like we said last week with Grissom, 15 to 20 times to score. Again, we got the RPO game. You know, what a great job they got. You know, he said Matt Broughton, great position, great coverage. You know, Matt's going to be fine. He was injured in the game, and I know a lot of people are concerned about Matt, but he visited with his mom and a long time, and he's doing well. Again, you see the kind of ability this quarterback has. He just, you know, he reminds me a lot of the, you know, the quarterback at Clemson. Just as far as how he moves and throws the ball and the decision-making and his athleticism. And it is really, really hard to get a hold of. Oh, we did a really good job. I know we jumped early, but we really adjusted well. We work hard on those things to make sure that we're watching the ball. And, you know, we rotate a lot of defensive linemen. See a super play by Brody Malcolm. You know, great call by Coach Hopper and Coach Walker. I mean, we rep that stuff all week. So, you know, there's, again, like we said last week, we know how they're lined up, what their tendencies are. Again, just you see three black jerseys around the ball, converging on the ball, and I'm telling you, we're going to get a pick and take it to the house before too long to keep it up. Again, we're in a safe punt return this time. You know, sometimes when the field position flips like that, we just want to try to fair catch it. Not take any chances. Got a couple of new players in there and just had a couple of personnel issues a little bit in the first half. Just some guys that hadn't gotten a lot of reps. And, you know, we like a lot of people, we've been dealing with injuries and shutdowns. And again, you see Jake Doolin just seeing the field and the block so well, and Coach Saint doing a great job, you know, calling things when we've got them out flanked just by alignment. You know, we have the ability to take advantage of those things when people have problems lining up. And, you know, and you may think, well, man, you think all these fancy sets and spread sets is difficult to line up. Well, now when you have a tight end and a wing and these guys are really blocking, and that's what makes it even harder to line up against what we do. And again, great job of Max putting the ball out there. And what a wonderful catch by Jamar Kay. I mean, we saw a couple of photos of that catch. He literally caught that thing on his fingertips. Ball's in the air. He shifted into another gear, and he made the play. Man, what a gamer. He had a touchdown against Jasper last year. And, man, you know, Jamar's just one of those guys he's just such a great kid. You just always pulling for him to make plays. And, man, that was just a beautiful play. I mean, it's just well executed.
That might have been the loudest I've heard in the stadium in a few years.
Yeah, it was exciting. It looked like when the pass first was thrown, it's going to be overthrown, and he just literally shifted gears and made that play. And then, boy, a great hit right there with Caleb Bates. And that's just our kickoff team has been really, really good. That's a big tribute to the job Coach Morris does. He really loves special teams, and we got guys that love to play on it. We put starters on that thing. And like I say, Jasper's got a super plan. You know, you can be perfect 90% of the time, and then, you know, a couple of plays, people, they're going to spring some guys open. That's just the way football goes when you're playing a top-notch program. Like I said, these guys have not lost. They've lost very few games over the last several years. I mean, it's amazing. They've got one of the top winning percentages in the state, all classifications. So these guys know how to win. You know, Coach Bailey taking over this program this year, and I just think he's doing an outstanding job. Again, see the discipline of our defensive line. You know, we got Josh Miranda playing a lot of nose, and you know, Cody Lynn. You know, these guys, we're bringing pressure against a really good offensive front. Great throw and catch right there. And we need to be a little bit more secure in the tackle, but you know, you got to learn. If you're going to roll tackle, we got to get down in the leg, and you keep doing the hip. Again, great play coming down the line by Josh Miranda. Again, you know, he's able to play at full speed because we can rotate a lot of guys. You know, Jay Knopp, Caleb Bates, Lane Parker gets in there a few snaps, and then we're Caleb Heatherly. We've got a lot of guys that we're rolling in and out there, and I'm telling you, it makes a difference that fourth quarters. Again, great job by their guy with the. It's really, that's almost like a triple option deal. You know, they've got dive read, got quarterback Keith Reed. He's throwing it to a pitch guy who's actually a receiver. So great scheme. Again, just super coverage, two people in the area. And it's really hard. There's no window to throw that ball in. Like I said, this stuff isn't an accident. It's our coach staff stays up here all weekend and works really, really hard on putting these guys in the best position to be successful. And it's going to be more pleased with the job they're doing. And again, great hit and guys being disciplined. I'm sure everybody understands thought that the running back had the ball, they're running a little midline scheme, and we're right there. And what a huge fourth down stop that was. I mean, I think, you know, Jasper had 50 or so plays like us, and a lot of these spread teams, I mean, they're getting 90 and sometimes almost 100 plays, even in high school games. Great wrinkle we put in this week, a little counter lead right there, haven't shown. It's very good against defenses when they line up in a bear front. And, you know, again, we're at the stage now where we feel like we have answers to any kind of front. You know, against wing T or option offenses, there's really only about 4, you know, maybe 5 fronts that people are going to work, and we feel like we've got good plays against anything that people do. What a great run, great blocking the point of attack by Jake Doolin. I mean, he's really trusting that path, and just super pleased with his progress, and obviously the progress of the offensive line. I mean, you can see they're playing much lower pad level this year than they did last year. Oh man, just missed. You know, Jamar made that super catch. You can't catch them all sometimes, but you know, he's gonna catch most of them. Good job. And again, you know, we've got the numbers in the passing game. And like I said, when it's 2-on-2, we're gonna throw it. I mean, we want to make those guys have to put 3 over 2, and then that opens up our run game. It's pretty simple on how we decide to run or pass. And just trying to get, you know, not much time. Got to play trying to get an athlete down the field. Maybe he can make a play. And again, Jalen's playing most of the snaps on defense. And in this game, we're resting him probably a little bit more on offense. And, you know, that's going to change week to week. You know, we're trying to get another score in before halftime, and you know, great job being disciplined. And you know, their quarterback had believe he had a high ankle sprain and was out of the game. But you know, obviously, you know, number 6 made one of our best athletes miss a tackle on the open field, and that hasn't happened very much. So we know that guy's got a lot of talent and can really play. And you know, we don't expect any kind of drop off just because their starting quarterback has been pulled out of the game for now.
Definitely didn't see a drop-off when we get into the second half here in a couple minutes. It was a little bit different looking of an offense. It wasn't quite the same option ability through the air, but just watching that guy in warm-ups, he had the ability if he did need to pull out and throw the football. Well,
look, you know, Jasper's always had tremendous athletes over there, and a lot of depth. And just football is so important in Walker County. I worked at Cordova High School for 3 years with Coach Sane, and you know, football is the only game in town in Walker County, and it's extremely important to people there, and that's why all those teams really, really good because it's important to those kids as they grow up.
It showed, and it absolutely showed in the crowd Saturday too. They brought a good crowd over from Jasper as well, and being a last-minute game time change like that, sometimes you don't expect to see a lot of numbers, but it was a good crowd out there for senior day for the home folks and to bring them from the road as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're the only game in town right now. The colleges aren't playing, the pros aren't playing. There's not even preseason games. The only football around is in Alabama right now. Even some of the states that are planning on playing, they're still haven't started yet. So if you want to see football, you've got to come to Alabama right now. And so I think that showed up with the crowd on Saturday. I mean, just being able to see a home football game here is, I think was a big thrill for a lot of people.
Seeing a brand of it right here at Oliver Woodard Stadium.
Absolutely.
Too. All right, let's take our next break of the show. When we come back, we'll get into the second half action. Coleman-Jasper game from last Saturday. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the Bearcat Review. I am Wade Smith, sitting alongside head coach Oscar Glasscock. We talked about the first half of the Coleman-Jasper game. Bearcats did come out on top 21-0 on senior day. And we've talked a lot about the offense in the first half. And I think it just goes to show how well the defense actually played Saturday, that we haven't really had to talk about a big play that came up. And we haven't had to talk about a lot of missed assignments. We saw maybe one or two missed tackles in that first half and a couple of penalties on special teams. But just talk about how strong this defense has played the first 2 weeks of the season.
I mean, well, obviously, when you haven't given a point and you played two really good offenses, I mean, that's a huge deal. I mean, and it's, if people are going to score this year and there's going to be a game before it's over with where it almost seems like a shootout, I mean, that's just football. And, I've coached some really outstanding defenses over the years at different schools, and even the best defenses I've ever coached. You had that one game where it just, for whatever reason, you're not dominating as much as you had with maybe some of the other opponents, and that offense kind of comes through. So it's the ultimate team game, and it's obviously playing very well. We have a lot of starters back, a lot of people who played a lot of reps. I mean, and I think that's showing up. And then we've got a few athletes and been added to the mix. I would say the difference with this defense is, as opposed to some of the other ones I've coached or that Coleman's had, is that we're very athletic, and we have, all of our secondary runs a 4.5, 4.6 40. I think the coaching's been outstanding. I think the understanding by the kids of what we're trying to get as coaches is outstanding, and it's important to them to do the right thing and have their eyes where they're supposed to be. But also, we ensure in practice that they're running the football. We do, when we're running team defense and we're running 7-on-7 drills and things like that, I'm on the whistle. We blow two whistles. The first whistle means the kids come off their assignment and they find the ball and they sprint to the ball until they hear the second whistle. And, that's something I picked up from, visiting colleges and things like that. And man, I tell you, it really pays off because they get in that mindset they got to run the ball and number one, and so. Can't be more pleased with, Coach Fondren is a huge help over there. He helps with our outside linebackers in the secondary, and like I said, Coach Morris, Coach Walker, and Coach Hopper, they really, really work well together. It's a fine team. But the biggest factor is just the players and how they've bought into what we're doing, and they see that, hey, what they're being taught actually works. Their scheme is good, but you know what? We get them on the ground or get them out of bounds. Now, was it a long yardage play? Absolutely. But we're making them snap it again. we don't give up those explosive touchdowns. And that's something we preach and harp on, and we design our defense not to give those explosive touchdowns up. Because we believe we can get them on the ground and we've got a chance. You know, a fumble could happen on the next play, a bad snap, all kind of stuff. And like I said, they're sort of getting us a little bit, made some adjustments at halftime, and I'm tell you, you know, the head coach is the offensive line coach, and that's a good offensive line. So we're kind of hanging on right here. You know, we kind of kept them in the locker room a little extra just because it was such a hot day, and that just like I said, we got that guy on the ground. And they have a bad snap, and we have a big play. We did get a helmet-to-helmet contact right there going for the ball, which is sometimes that just happens. You're not intending to, you know, hit the guy in the head with your head, but you know when you're going for the ball, sometimes it happens a little bit. So anyway, we're getting the guy on the ground, you know, and they get a break with the penalty. But again, great speed off the edge with Jalen Huey and everybody else holding their gaps. And we're making them snap, and now second down, you know, and we're not just going to give them the touchdown here just because they made one really good play. Yeah, we're in a little over front right here. Trying to bounces out to the edge. Great pursuit out of our secondary. Brody Malcolm and defensive lineman getting down the line right there. You know, Drew Ball's a playmaker, and Cole Herfer. Those guys. So now it's third down. Great position, great technique using the inside hand right there. And so it's too long to go for it on fourth down. So now they're going to attempt to kick. We'll get a good push up the middle. Affects the kick a little bit, pushes it wide right, and there you go. I mean, it's still haven't given up any points, even though they had some very successful plays. We get them on the ground, you make them snap the football, and again, it is really, really hard from an offensive standpoint to snap it 15 to 20 times, you know. And if they want to call that a bend but don't break type deal, I'm all for it. You know, I call it a successful defense.
Absolutely. Mindset and discipline there.
You know, and some people, well, we're going to be aggressive on defense, you know. Man, but I'm telling you, if you're getting zero-man coverage and you don't have those safeties deep and you're blitzing all these people, eventually people are going to get 60 and 70 and 80-yard touchdowns. And, you know, that's what beats you. And that's a lot of times people get embarrassed because they're giving up those 1- and 2-play possessions for touchdowns. Great job by Jake. I mean, it's just like I said, great job protecting the ball right here. The guy comes from a long way, and you know, he's worked so hard on his ball security, and then, man, again, we're out of the hole. We flipped the field position now. You know, defense made that tackle, got that guy on the ground, and now you see the power of Jalen Huey. He's got some gas right there, and just runs over a guy, annihilates him. And you remember last year we kept running quarterback sneak as we got closer. Now these guys are getting in the end zone. Again, that's the difference a year makes in the weight room.
Just talk about the difference in the game right there. You go from letting them get all the way down to the 7- or 8-yard line. They miss a field goal. You flip the field in 6 plays and touchdown. It's just on the board like that.
You know, I don't know, Wade. To me, that seems like explosive offense.
It is.
If you go the length of the field in 6 plays, that's pretty explosive.
You don't expect it with it. You've been seeing 10, 12, 15-play drives out of this team, and I mean,
you can do it. You can do it in the run game as well as the pass game.
A lot of credit to Jake Doolin's field vision on that long run, and then just give it
super blocking, and you know, it's just like I said, just super scheme, great play calling, and again, you see the athleticism. This guy is as quick as a hiccup, and he's a really intelligent player, and you know, Jasper's got some just some good kids. I mean, you can tell they play with a lot of class. You know, I was really, really impressed with the sportsmanship displayed by both squads, and that's a tribute to Coach Bailey and you know, what they're teaching over there, because that doesn't happen by accident. You know, football's a violent game, it's a physical game, emotions run high, and teach these kids how to control that emotion and play within the rules of the game. It's a challenge for a coach, and I'm just super, super proud of how the game was played this past Saturday. Again, he said that this is superior athleticism in this kid. I mean, he's super runner, and what they may give up in the pass game some, he makes up for it in his ability to improvise and create. again, got him in a third down, got him hemmed up, don't let him get outside, and again, just the strength that we're playing with so much more power this year and size, and guy gets a good bounce. I mean, it's hard to field that kick, and you see little Jonathan Pittman in here. He had to step in when Brody Malcolm kind of tweaked the knee a little bit, and really proud of Jonathan. He came in and made some big plays for us. So again, we're kind of backed up, and they got a good bounce, and we got a holding call right here, and didn't quite get it done there. Backed up even further, and then again, this is a big test. Can we dig ourselves out a little bit? Running the waggle. We got do it a little bit close to the sideline. Probably could have got a few more, but we value the football. We protect the football. These type things right here, and man, what a great pitch. We got a good play going right there, and we're going to do a better job looking that ball in and catching it and tucking it in. So, man, worst spot you can be in as a defense. You got to turn over inside the red zone, and defensively, we got to dig in, play your assignments, focus on doing your job, play as hard as you can, be as technically perfect as you can, know your assignments, and we got a chance to stop them here. So again, we got them in the third down right here. And we worked hard on goal line defense. And again, make them snap it, and there they are. They have a little miscue on the snap right there. And again, that happens a lot more in the shotgun than it does under center. So,
that's
good for us.
Yeah, that's what you see when you have that many plays that, like you said, make the snap, and that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. And we'll get them on the ground, and really super proud of the composure our defense shows.
It happened quite a bit after the fact, after Rosenfeld went out at quarterback. I don't know if it was maybe center just wasn't used to a smaller target or but you saw it a couple extra times, and it definitely was a benefit to the defense and definitely helped the momentum to carry through. We will take our next break. As we come back, we'll have our fourth quarter of action for Coleman Jasper. Coleman was victorious 21-0 on Senior Day at Oliver Woodard Stadium. We'll be right back after this.
Don't forget, we're open on Saturdays.
Welcome back to the Bearcat Review. I am Wade Smith alongside head coach Oscar Glasscock. We are reviewing the Coleman-Jasper game from last Saturday, Senior Day for this group of guys, large group of seniors, able to be honored, able to get their parents and their families out there, the band members, the cheerleaders, our TV staff that helps put on this show every single week as well. It was just good to see socially distanced, masked up, but everybody got a chance to be honored just in case something happens for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I think, some of the things that are in place, they may become permanent fixtures. I don't know, maybe it went so well, maybe senior recognition should be the first game of the year, the first home game. That might be, there's a lot of things that may be changed like that. I think for sure the players bringing their own water jugs and things like that is a super idea, because they have extra water now, and it's even more sanitary, and I think a lot of the best practices will follow. Like we spray a disinfectant through a fog machine, every day, sometimes twice a day in the locker room. Well, I think that's a great thing. Let's keep doing it. So I think that, there may be some things that end up staying the same. And I miss the handshake and some of those things after the game, but I'm gonna tell you what, like I said, the sportsmanship I thought was top notch, and I think both teams realized that, so we'll see what happens next year when it's a little bit more normal. But I tell you, once that game kicked off, it's a high school football game. It's played hard by two outstanding teams, and I couldn't tell you if I watched a film of it 10 years from now, I wouldn't be able to probably remember that we were in some kind of COVID awareness the whole time and all that. So
we saw a couple of guys go down for the Bearcats in this game, and don't have to get too specific with it here, but how was Matt Brock and Brody Malcolm doing after that one?
Well, I think they're going to be fine, and those guys, they're tough kids, and we take every precaution we can, and we make sure that those kids, when our medical people and our training staff with Scott Lockridge and Kimberly Johnson, I mean, when they tell us certain things that we can and can't do, we don't push it, and we follow what they tell us. And Dr. Doolin's on the sideline, and I know our Dr. Ketchum that's local here is Jasper's orthopedic guy, and he was there, and it's just we've got a lot of trained people out there that help us make the right decisions about players and things like that. But injuries are a part of the game, and they're part of every sport there is. And that's one thing with the strength program, and we emphasize a lot of flexibility and core training, and that should reduce the amount of injuries we have, because when kids are more flexible and they're stronger in their core, they're going to be injured less. We work hard on the neck area, the trap area, with our weights to help with concussion prevention. The way we teach tackling, we don't ever lead with the head, or even we lead with the near shoulder and near leg. So a lot of techniques that are taught has changed a whole lot, and it helps the kids. And look, football's a physical game. It's a violent game. It's a collision sport. But I think it is safer now than it's ever been. Just as far as the techniques and the things that we're teaching and the medical support around them.
Let's get into our fourth quarter of action. We've seen 3 so far. Coleman is leading 21-0 going into the final quarter. That is the final score of the ball game as well. But still a lot of great plays to see in this fourth quarter of action. A lot of good physical play between this Coleman and Jasper teams, as we've seen throughout the first 3 quarters of it. And it sure didn't slow down any in the fourth quarter, Coach.
No, I thought both teams played really, really hard all the way to the end. And, that's great to see. And like I said, I thought Jasper played extremely hard and extremely physical. And, unfortunately, they got their quarterback hurt and had some miscues with their snaps. But outside of that, I thought they executed really well.
It was a fun game to watch throughout, too, and I know we've talked about it being senior day. We've talked about it being super hot outside. May see a little bit different kind of atmosphere coming up this Friday night. We're going up to Hartselle for this one. What do we know about this Hartselle team coming up Friday night?
Well, they're really well coached. I mean, the kids play really hard. You've got super tradition. I mean, it's a great atmosphere at J.P. Cain Stadium. And, I think most people know that I was a defensive coordinator there for 5 years and just worked for Bob Godsey, who's a Hall of Famer. And, they've got another future Hall of Famer there now as a head coach, and Brian Moore. His record's unbelievable. He was at Jasper, and I think he only lost 3 games years and made deep runs in the playoffs, and did the same at Eufaula. So they got outstanding coaching staff. The strength program they have, one of the tops in. Bert Newton, their defensive coordinators, is a close friend of mine, and then just has done a wherever he's been, and just it's going to be difficult to get a win. I'm going to tell you that. I mean, they've had several kids transfer in. They've got a defensive lineman that's been offered by the quarterback Jasper moved in there, and he's a top-notch player. So they got another D lineman from Clay Chalfel that's being looked at by a lot of colleges, and they've got a Division I type corner. So they've really are talented. Especially I would say defensively. Offensively, Coach Moore's just a great play caller and great coordinator in his own right. And it's going to be a super challenge for us, to even be competitive.
And it's one of those, too, that no matter what you draw up on paper, it's a rivalry game. It's one that the kids are going to come out fired up about this one on both sides of the football.
Well, you know, I kind of brought it up last year. I don't know how much of a rivalry you can call it. I think Coleman's only beat Hartselle maybe 6 times in the past 20 years. So, you know, we got to do more of our part to make it a rivalry. You know, I don't think Coleman hasn't won at Hartselle since 1997 when Coach Hopper started the game. So wow. It's, you know, I mean, they've had the upper hand for the last, you know, 30+ years, I'd say. You know, I guess since sort of the end of the Woodard era, and you know, so. You know, but the focus is on us, you know, and I think that's probably one of the problems with the rivalry game or whatever is I think maybe on Coleman, and I've been part of it, and I was part of that as a staff member too. You put too much pressure on that game, and you put all, you know, it's like Alabama and Auburn. If that's the only game you're thinking about, then you're going to struggle with other contests. And man, look, you know, our kind of motto is focusing on us,
right?
You know, and we want to play as well as we can, and there's a standard we're trying to play. And again, in our locker room, in our weight room, we have these signs up and say, it's not about who we play, it's about who we are. And, you know, and that's the focus. The game's big, you know, but, you know, hey, it's big because it's the next game. Absolutely. Is it going to be fun? Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great atmosphere, but, you know, we got to focus on us better.
Looking forward to seeing that. We still have one more quarter of action to look at here from the Coleman-Jasper game, and let's go to that one now. Setting up fourth quarter, Coleman does lead 21-0 on the defensive side of the ball.
That's right. Again, you know, they've got ball in great position to score. A little early here, and guys coming out of the backfield. Great position, and there you see Jonathan Pittman. That's a big fourth down play, gets in that throwing lane, and he came in probably not expecting to play that much, but man, you know, he's been coached and he's ready to go. Again, we got a little counter lead right there put in this week, you know, just for the type of defense that they're lined up in, and you know, man, it was a great thing when you're not expecting it. And again, you see the weight room, you know, Jake Doolin running over people, you know, getting behind his pads and a strong part of his body and his legs. And, you know, it doesn't happen just by accident. Get another little quarterback follow play off the option look. It was a great little wrinkle, too, we added. Those were 2 plays we sort of added this week. We'll continue to use those for sure. Great job protecting the football. I mean, we're being, you know, I guess we're pretty conservative all the time, Wade, actually. You know, people say, well, we're being conservative, but we're gonna do everything we can to protect the football, you know, and you know, if you end your drive with a kick, that's usually a good thing.
Really pretty good ball control overall outside of the one pitch that just wasn't caught.
Yeah, I mean, it executed everything, but actually, you know, seeing the ball and tucking it in. So, again, trying a little bit of a saddle reverse. You know, we've had a lot of success on that play in the past, and just, you know, people I think are overplaying it, but that's, as you see, when they overplay that, then the buck sweep, you know, the original play in the series is working that much better. So we've got to get that punt off quick, and again, we kind of get a really good roll on this, and you know, we've worked hard on our punt team, and we're still, you know, not quite there yet, but we're making tremendous progress on that. Again, you know, Jasper rotating some linemen in there. They had some of those, their more talented players playing some both ways, and that's where, you know, again, right here with their, you know, our defensive pursuit, we're able to put some fresh guys in there, and man, on a day like it was Saturday, that makes a huge difference. There we go, good comeback, throw and catch right there. Got to make that tackle. And like I said, if we're going to roll tackle, we got to get in that lower leg and squeeze it like a python. And again, option look, man, what a great job of the defense of being patient and giving them a bad read. And you know, that's a play that you got to rep a whole lot, and you got to have smart kids be able to execute it. Super pressure there by defensive line. We're in great position there, and I thought we had our pressure inside was super. A little pass rush game here. Set up the screen. You know, got to keep our feet a little bit better, but see us get into the legs and get that fine back down. And then they've got a formation into the boundary and trying to get a one-on-one matchup. You see Caleb Bates putting on a lot of pressure, and man, Jaden Kay just being able to step into that safety role, having a great great angle right there. And that was, again, fourth down, had several fourth down stops that were key. Again, a little counter lead right there, and I don't know about you, Wade, but I'll take 7-8 yards every time.
Like to see it.
Maybe that's not exciting to some people, but
exciting to me. I'll take it. Eat that field, eat that clock. Time of possession was just so key in this one.
No doubt. I mean, these offenses are good and they're explosive and things, and we got to, keep them on the sideline. Keep them on the sideline, and they can't score. Got it. We really put in got a nice drive going at the end of the game, and again, we're just closing it out. I mean, I'm not sure how much time was on the clock when we started this drive, but I'm going to say it's in the neighborhood of 5 minutes, and we ran out the clock. Like I said, a lot of spread offenses can't do this. They don't have the ability to do this. When everything's based on the pass game, they're counting on outscoring you, as opposed to they have a really difficult time running out the clock when they need to.
I'm not really sure total number of drives in this one, but it always seemed like you had at least one drive in every quarter that just it went like this. Everything was clicking on all cylinders. The blocks were hitting, and I mean, as you saw, you had a touchdown in every quarter, and could have had one more here if it wasn't just, hey, the object is to win the game, so why not just run the clock?
That's right. I think this is kind of the first down right here, something that seals it, and so we're getting our, my favorite formation right here, victory formation. It's
should be everybody's.
Yeah. So we're going to be safe, take a knee, and let the clock run out. Man, what a great day. I mean, the kids were just super excited after the game, and just think, our conditioning program, and like I said, our strength training and those type of things, our guys are in good shape. Jasper's were in good shape. I mean, because I'm telling you, there's been a lot of opponents out there to where the conditions, the heat like that, would have really caused a lot of cramping and a lot of issues, and you'd have been having guys, you'd had trainers having to go out there every other snap, it seems like. But, we work hard on it. We preach nutrition and hydration and preparing to be in a contest like that. So it doesn't just start on that day. You see the red water bottles. I mean, that's probably going to be a fixture of what we do. I mean, some kids, they take their own water, and we've got a good supply out there anyway. So
preparation was definitely key, and it showed in that one with the difference in temperature on a Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning like that when you start and you get past afternoon during the game. We've seen Thursday games, we've seen Saturday games. It just kind of feels like a good nod to the coaching staff of being able to keep these guys motivated, keep their heads on straight, and really in the off season preparing these guys to be prepared for the unexpected.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's why football is a great teacher of life skills, is because, you have to handle adversity and changes and things like that. And if you're so locked into the comfort zone, a lot of times you can't achieve big things. You're always going to be at a certain level. So I always talk about, hey, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Embrace new challenges, new situations, and you got a chance to do big things with your life and big things on the football field. Because life's not, you can have the best plan, the best preparation in the world, and something happens and you fall off the track. Well, you gotta be able to figure out how to get back on track and keep on trucking.
Everybody's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth.
That's right. That's right.
Mike Tyson that said that.
Yeah,
I think that was
a good one.
Yeah.
I did want to say, we're really, really happy. On Saturday, we had Ray Segura come by with his family and speak to the game. We, pre-game, as we're eating and things like that before we sort of rest for an hour and a half or 2 hours, we always have it's usually like a guest speaker. They do a little devotional, and Ray was a Hurricane Katrina transplant in 2005. And he came in and he talked about how literally they left New Orleans and pulled off out of a random interstate exit, 157, found a hotel that had a couple of rooms. I think they had 20-something people in 2 rooms, and you know, they got the word like 2 days later that he didn't have a home to go back to, and he basically homeless. And they enrolled in Coleman High School, and you got immediate eligibility when you were you know, refugee like that from, you know, the Hurricane Katrina. And he had a great 6 or 7 games he played here. Ended up getting a full scholarship to Alabama A&M. You know, now he's working with Park and Rec in Tampa, Florida, and got you know 2 beautiful kids, and one of his older sons was actually one of the ball boys Saturday, and he just you know, gave just a super inspiring message. The kids love seeing him, and just, you know, just so thankful that he was able to come by. You know, what was neat about it, it was the 15th, the day of the 15th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. You know, how timely is that?
It's just crazy to think how all those things kind of line up at the right place at the right time. And he's just a good guy.
Yeah.
I've had a chance to talk to him in the past. I didn't get a chance to play with him. It was the year after that we graduated that he came in. But to watch him out on the football field, he was a really good player just to see on the field. But just in general, to be able to take that kind of crisis in life and turn it into something as positive as it's become for just a short point, it just goes to show you not only do you have experiences like that, football doesn't prepare you to play on the field. It prepares you for the other 6 days of the week too.
Yeah, and the message he brought was so timely because, you know, in this time of COVID and all that, we don't know when our last game is. You know, Saturday may be the last game. And it's just like him. He thought, I don't play football forever. You know, I got my senior year coming up. He was playing for a legendary coach down there at McDonough 35 in New Orleans. And you know, and all of a sudden, he thought he wasn't going to get a chance to play and wasn't going to get a chance to play college football. All his highlight tapes and all that had been destroyed and things like that. And it just, you know, have that second opportunity here in Coleman, Alabama, of all places. And he, you know, it's just a wonderful story, but it was also very appropriate for the time we're sort of going through right now. And even, you know, playing on Saturday, you know, which was unusual in itself. So it was, that was a definite ray of sunshine.
Like it. I think it goes a long way in teaching a community too about there's bigger things going on than what might be happening right in front of you in your front yard or in the back door at school. But hey, these people are coming in from, I mean, terrors that they had to live through and survive just to pull off to stay in a hotel with 20 people and be able to strap up on Friday night and just have some sense of normalcy. And I think you're right. It just kind of does compare to this year that football's bringing a little bit of normalcy back to our lives.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm enjoying every minute of it. And I know these kids are. I think you can see how much they're actually enjoying the game. So hopefully we can sustain that. And, you know, win or lose the rest of the year, I'd say it's been a success so far.
I think so too. And I think we're going to get ready to wrap up the Bearcat review here. Any final thoughts, Coach?
I don't know. We did a lot of talking today.
Well, we do. We like to talk.
Yeah, that's right.
Or we at least look like we do.
Try to keep focused on these kids there, but you know,
right.
just super proud of the kids, and you know, I think with the game upcoming this week, I think it's all you got to buy the pre-sale on the GoFan sites. We'll get that information out there, and you know, wear your mask and social distance, but you know, support the Bearcats in whatever way you can, because this is a great group of kids, and don't miss out.
Absolutely. We'll see you up at Hartselle Friday night. Coleman-Hartselle game, don't miss out. Bearcats on the road, coming off a 21-0 victory senior day last Saturday against Jasper. We appreciate you tuning into the Bearcat Review. For Coach Glasscock, I'm Wade Smith, and we'll see you next time.